Hello, everybody. Welcome to Woke Wellness Wednesday. That's right. We are here at Woke Wellness Wednesday. And today we have a very special edition of Woke Wellness Wednesday when Gerren Hall, to my right, is actually in the building. Gerren, get in frame.
How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Woke Wednesday, that is.
Woke Wellness Wednesday, my brother.
Sorry,
Woke Wellness Wednesday. That's right. This is Woke Wellness Wednesday with Gerren Hall. That's super exciting. Here is Gerren with us today. Just to give you guys a brief update, this is now part 2 of episode 1. So we already dug deep. But in case you are new here, and just to give you a refresher, we are going to introduce Michael Ladyboy Padilla. Dale pa' atrás, dije. Dale pa' atrás, dije. Dale.
What up, bitches? No. So, listen. This is a serious conversation, and we need to get serious. So, with that being said, your co-host, Michael Padilla. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to another episode of Woke Wellness Wednesday, specifically mental health, because mental health is very important to us. I know, and I know Gerren knows, and Dahlia knows. So let's get started.
All right, here we go, guys. So the question that we're going to continue and kind of segue back into where we were last time is, what is it like being bipolar in the entertainment industry? And Gerren, why don't you give us a little bit?
Okay, so if you watched us last week, you'll remember I talked extensively about just how being bipolar in general, it's a chronic illness that exists in your brain and gives you a warped sense of what you believe is reality versus what's actually going on. So already being in the entertainment business, you're already living in a world full of make-believe and superficial types of things. So in a way, by being bipolar in the entertainment business, it's definitely magnified a little bit more because you're really, caught in between whether or not am I doing something that's factually real or does it have any merit to what is on screen versus what you see in real life. So there are a lot of differences in reality versus fiction.
Right. And that's kind of where, all of us can kind of relate on that question, which is, we are personalities that are on camera, right? And then there's also this life that we live behind the camera. Michael, I can't hear you.
Hey. Yo.
Did you hear what the hell I just said right now?
You cut out.
Just said.
I did not cut out. I did not cut out right now.
That was such a lie.
Oh my God. How did we cut out?
No, I'm kidding. Please reiterate.
Okay, so what is it like being bipolar in the entertainment industry? We just went over that. Now, the thing that we started to do last week, and it started to open up a bigger umbrella of questions, was your family. And how does your family react to you? Or do you have any family members that have bipolar, and how do you react to that? So that was family dealing with neurodivergence.
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting because the topic kind of discusses so much. I mean, this is a huge umbrella, right? Cultures are very vast, especially religion, and I really don't want to get into that tonight because that within itself is another thing. But specifically, I think, for example, Hispanic culture, I don't want to generalize, but at least growing up, I do know that mental illness, mental health was very much seen as a taboo. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure. I'm sure if other people have experienced this as well. There, I know some friends, and it's always been this taboo that, oh, nothing's wrong with you. Nothing can be wrong with you. And if something's wrong with you, you need to fix it by just working. Just keep pushing yourself and keep working. Get out of bed. Go take, go to your job. That was like the sort of MO of procedures. But then I realized that wasn't working out for me because it's not just about getting up and going to work. Okay? Like mental health is something that requires dedication, requires you to go get help and assistance from someone. You're not going to get rid of your mental health, or like, for example, if you're depressed, maybe some people will get out of their depression by getting out of the house and socializing with other people, but not everyone is like that. So that sort of tackling that, it's not healthy or applicable to everyone to just tell them, oh, go in and go to work. So that was one thing. And then I remember growing up, I would tell my mom, I feel depressed. And my mom would be like, why are you depressed? Why? And I would say, because I feel it. How does a 6-year-old child know what depression is? He doesn't. He or she doesn't. But I knew that it wasn't a good sensation, that this was not right. It wasn't normal for me to feel this way. And so that's when I started realizing, what, I think there's something here. But unfortunately, my family did not want to acknowledge that there was a chance, because their idea, there's a cultural thing to it too. I mean, there's
so wait, tell everybody that you come from a Mexican family.
Sure. I come from a Mexican family. Boom. Big exposition.
Boom!
Climax. I want to say that underlying with the culture, there's this sort of ideology that we have to be perfect. I think every culture has this sort of subliminal or underlining desire, right? That we want to be perfect. We want to be not in that other box, in that other category. We don't want to be isolated out or marginalized out and cornered out or ostracized. We don't want to. It's a very, I think, societal thing. And so when someone says, I think I might have depression, Mom or Dad, what do you think they're going to say? No. Just it's fine. That's the main thing that they're always, there's this concern, and I get it. But I think you're doing your child a disservice by not just admitting to yourself as a parent, for the parents at least. I don't want to generalize because every parent is different, but there are some parents that don't want to acknowledge it. And so they actually do more by not acknowledging it and avoiding that topic with their children. And what does their children do? They find resentment. They push themselves away from their parents. They don't want to be around their parents. And the parents realize, why is my child distant from me? Well, have you considered that maybe your child doesn't feel safe around you? Because they have come up to you and they've approached you with things maybe, and maybe it wasn't obvious, right? But maybe they came up to you and said, you know what, Mom, I'm feeling a little down, under the weather. Oh, no, it's okay, honey. No. But see, that was their way of sort of kind of, worming themselves into that conversation. And by you going and saying no and just cutting it off, saying, no, nothing's wrong with you, the child then goes, well, I'm not being heard. I know, boring stuff. I digress, or whatever. I kind of went on a tangent, but I think it's very important for us, right, the new generation, if we ever have children, or for those out there who have children, just make sure you're hearing out your child, because I think it's very important nowadays, especially with social media projecting this image that everyone is perfect. because filters and Snapchat filters and all of these different sort of masking effects for pictures, it's not healthy. And then on top of that, you know. So I think mental health is something that deals with both society constructs, cultural constructs, and especially more than anything, your own family. Like, is your family embracing the idea that, you know what, you have something? Go seek help. Go seek help. We'll get you help. Here, I think I know someone. Let's go together. And then guess what? Boom, you go, first meeting, successful. Oh my gosh, I feel like I can see for the first time in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gerren, do you have any words for what he said?
All the words I was able to hear, I want to say I definitely concur with.
Like, I will say, the first time I...
Hold on. Go ahead, Gerren.
Okay.
No, I was saying I sympathize with what you're talking about when it comes to the whole cultural divide, and, you know, being from a Latin American family and being from a Black family who are, I hate to say it, very uneducated in what mental health really is. So I definitely can sympathize and empathize with that situation and have been a victim of that myself.
And I also like how it's I don't know. I always find it very interesting. I mean, this is another sort of like socioeconomic issue, which I think also plays in, right? If your background is kind of your socioeconomic level as a person, or your family is like underneath the average household income, a lot of times people don't have means to mental health resources. And so what do parents do? Or family members, sometimes they say, you know what, unfortunately, we don't have the resources to provide any of this for you. So they might even say, you know what, I don't think you need it in that retrospect, because underlying that, they are actually thinking financially, you know what, we're not going to be able to afford for you to go to a therapy session. But there are resources. There are free resources out there. And I think that we should sort of ease our way into that, because I think people should know that there are resources regardless of financial backgrounds. And again, we are not certified advisors. We are just giving our food for thought.
Yeah. I see that there's people in the stream right now. If you guys have any questions so far, or any comments, or feel any points to relate, feel free to comment below. We're definitely a community here at large trying to enable awareness and consciousness around topics that are very uncomfortable. You know, this is not a comfortable, situation and time that we're even in, right? The pandemic has made everybody very more aware, I think, in how they deal with the world at large and how to go about being yourself in this world. And I think it is a lot more complicated now. A lot of things are very meta. A lot of things are very much in a transitional phase of what is considered the future. And I think it could either shadow your neurodivergence, or it just kind of amplifies things, right? Because everything is very instantaneous and we need it now. And I think with being bipolar, you're either go, or dead. And I don't like, that is something that happens to me. I know that happens to Gerren. Gerren, does that happen to you?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Please talk about it.
No, I'll be nice. I want you to go first this time.
Talk about what? What do you want? What?
Dahlia, we do want to hear from you. I noticed that we never hear from you, and I think the audience deserves that.
No, I try to facilitate. I'm kind of multitasking.
All right. I'll answer the question.
Answer the damn question.
But I do want to kind of poke into this sort of what you commented, Dahlia. There are people in the audience watching, Is there names to these people?
Oh, hold on 1 second. Hello?
Hello?
Much better. Now I can actually hear you.
Oh dear. Okay, how about now? Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Great.
Oh.
Now please ask your question again. 'Cause now I can hear you. She's wearing the
Audience
headset, so I can hear you.
members.
Audience!
Who are the
Can
audience
you hear
members?
us? Can you hear us right
Is there
now?
names attached? What are the names for the audience members right now?
I have no idea.
It doesn't say,
No, they didn't say anything yet.
but you could see that there's audience members in the audience, right?
Yeah, there's only a number. I don't know who's in here.
Oh, what's the number?
Okay, what are you worried about? It's 3 people.
I wanted to see because maybe we know someone and I wanted to say hi, but that's
Well,
not a
we had
feature.
some people pop in the back. I think we got them scared because we told them we were gonna get woke and shit. So I think they got super scared. They're
Yeah,
trying-
your head. You guys are gonna get mind fucked in this chat. Let's talk about being mind fucked for a second.
Yeah, okay. Why don't we switch topics entirely?
Yeah, right. Okay, but I do want to say, as a student, and I'm sure this might be relatable to the audience, if you ever feel like you need extra time on tests and you feel like you're not being heard by your professors, I think it is very important to seek out a specific service called DSPS. It is a Students with Disabilities Center at the college campuses across the nation. I believe it is required for every accredited institution to have that on campus as a resource, and it allows you to get time accommodations aside from what a normal, I guess, person would get. So if someone gets an hour, you might get an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, maybe 2 hours. So I think that is that is something I wanted to point out for anyone, because it is something that's very helpful, and I know many of my peers have received that resource, and it's something that you have to undergo. It's like you have to do some sort of test to or you have to prove that you are maybe doctors and whatever. But it is very helpful, and they support and completely back up students. So if a professor is ever unjust with you, the DSPS office is the one that would be fighting for you, advocating for you. You would be reaching out to them and saying, hey, I feel unheard in my classroom setting. My professor is not answering my questions. And they reach out to the professor, address the concern, and they try to, find a solution. So they're kind of like the lawyers for anyone who is neurodiverse and is receiving the Students Center for Disabilities program.
For anyone in the Los Angeles area, the mental health facility that has helped me throughout the years, and now I have a case manager, is called Edelman. Yeah, so that's kind of in the Los Angeles based area. And then I actually went to Dignity Health. That was a really good hospital. But as far as us just suggesting things that you should definitely have, it's Medi-Cal. It's Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal is your best friend.
Well, you got to explain what Medi-Cal is and who would ideally qualify for it. Obviously, you're not certified to be even advising this, but you're just providing resources.
Why are you talking about this right now?
Huh?
I just said, okay, fine. Never mind. What were you going to say?
Well,
Talia, you should tell them about the Medi-Cal thing.
Well, we'll keep this one brief. As for somebody who just applied for it and got denied.
Oh.
I'll say
and he fell flat on his face.
Yeah.
Boom! Goals at Geronimo!
For somebody who's bipolar.
Gerren, go.
For somebody who's bipolar, you can imagine how irritating that was for me to get denied by Medi-Cal.
But
And-
Medi-Cal, I think, like, okay, yeah, go for it.
I was saying, Michael, do you want me to tell you what it is, or are you gonna keep me answering?
Yeah, Michael. Michael, shut the fuck up, Michael. Take
Okay.
I mean, Michael, I know
You
you're.
need to take your foot and seat there, mate. You like loving it. You loving it, yeah. You loving
Let
it.
him talk.
We're gonna let him talk, right? We're gonna let him talk.
Let
You,
him
me,
talk now.
You're gonna let him talk now. All right,
Now.
For me.
you no, we're spicy. We Latin, man. We Latin and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look, if you don't listen to what he's gonna say, then he gonna get mad.
You
And then
remind me of the guy from what's his name?
Simon
I'm like,
Cowell.
No, like, look, listen. We need you to like do this, and we're gonna let him do this.
let him do it.
You're gonna keep touching your mouth and give me a back rub.
Bitch, go talk.
Guys, basically, Medi-Cal is another form of medical assistance that you can qualify only in the state of California. Basically, the policy is you have to have a minimum of $2,000 or less in your savings account. And they do checks, so do not try to have underinflated wages because they would run your social security number, they will run your work history, and they will also run any pre-existing conditions you have that can validate or invalidate medical or financial hardships.
That's really whack.
Did you see my miming? Was it good? Was it on point?
Well, first of all, I just want to kind of go into this controversy, which I know it's going to get a lot of maybe lashback, but I'm going to say it
But
anyway.
let's remind people that we are not medical professionals, nor are we healthcare providers, nor are we legally bound to giving out this information.
We're none of that, right? We're like stay woke or not, right? Like, so like you're here to hear like the other side of the story, very alternative, very like
Right. So like basically, hold up, sit back down, girl. I just want to say that I think it is very unfair that all of the people in California's tax dollars and in every state is going towards so many resources and programs and benefits that are technically only for the people who hit the low, below the average income. But it's like, why? That should be provided for everyone. But
in
again,
Ethiopia, they get free college.
in Canada, they get free healthcare.
We're gonna put everybody on blast right now. If you got a
Okay,
country where the free shit is going on, you better post it right now.
In the UK, they get free education.
Bernie Sanders.
Me?
In the UK, they get public university for free.
He's trying to tell me I'm acting like Bernie Sanders right now.
In Norway and Sweden and Finland, they get free education as well.
Yes, they do.
We all need to go to Finland.
Spain, Germany, everyone.
Um,
So why is it that the US, that is supposedly thriving and uses all our tax dollars, why is it that we don't get the Medi-Cal? Why is Medi-Cal supposed to be a proof of below $2,000?
He's got his hand up.
Tell me.
because we are a capitalist country.
Okay.
Oh, you heard it from the cow's mouth right now. We are
All right.
a
We're a capitalist country. So I want everyone to stop working as of tonight. And I want us to show and riot that without our tax dollars, this country's going to have to fucking beat us. And they're going to have to give us the Medi-Cal because we aren't working and we aren't gaining much money. So we got to show them that it's not just about capitalism, but it's about a solution, right?
Dahlia's boss, Dahlia quits.
Or
I quit.
or why
quit.
can't you just provide free like doctor visits and free like okay, for example, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I went to go get my booster shot and they asked me if I had medical insurance, but of course these free booster shots are provided for free by the county. And yet they still asked me for my medical insurance. And of course I said no. And for some weird reason, they tracked my medical insurance and they found out that I had it. And next thing you know, my medical insurance has the records that I went to a county facility to get my booster shot. So how is that even possible when I clearly said do not release my information? So I'm just telling you guys, like, everything is linked. Everything is being like under surveillance.
You're being monitored even
We're
if you're not
monitored, and even
and
this is
like,
being monitored, and the government is probably watching in on this.
yeah,
But
we're being monitored. Yeah, Barry, what is it? What?
what?
Oh, word. Okay. So we got incoming news. Incoming news. We have Barry Keith Coe in the house, and he's gonna put his pants on and hop on the stream real quick because
Who's Barry Keith Coe?
he is a comedian. He's a very good friend of mine, and he is here at my house with Gerren. Somehow I acquired 2 Hollywood extravagant personalities in my house in one day.
And one who has blue balls right now.
And one who has blue balls right now.
I mean, that's literally how he came in the door.
Yeah, he can enter through here. Oh, look.
I'm just gonna stand.
Okay.
So we don't need mics. How you doing, fam?
What's up? This is
I
the
think
Michael.
I met him before. He looks hella
Michael, this is
nice jacket, man.
Who is that?
This is Barry.
What up?
Hi, Barry. Where did we meet? Please tell me, enlighten me.
Well, not to get too off subject, just because you guys.
Yeah, no, just quickly.
And I scoot to the left a little bit. You're great.
Okay.
They're not tracking your information by being a patient in the California state. You have already signed a waiver giving them permission to track your medical records. But here's the side hustle that you needed to hear. The plot hole, which will start digging into the blue collars who you're talking about earlier. Very much so, because they pay mortgages. So when you pay mortgages, your personal information becomes a priority to you because you see how valuable it is.
Wow.
The shit doesn't need to get stolen for you to place your weight on those pieces of information, documents, digital, anything.
So they pay? You're saying they pay to get our information?
The medical industry, you must remember, the CDC and the FDA have teamed up to cover all loopholes and to create loopholes. So where you find a problem, they already have a contingency called Medi-Cal and Medicare have set up a trust linking them to every COVID-friendly patient scattered across the board, covering from death to vaccinations. Meaning, when my friend who just quit after 10 years of being a registered nurse, my bad, she's leave of absence, but she moved in another state. I don't think she's coming back. You know what I mean? And she's a comedian. You had 10 registered nurses in San Diego speak on this panel because they fought hard. You don't have to wear a mask in San Diego. They fought hard. True. Because they knew. My grandmother was a registered nurse. Okay? A lot of what you hear through the medical industry is primarily people covering their own asses, because you have really people, normal ass human beings, primarily rich, fucked up, non-human people.
They're reptilians.
They are not of this world.
They're
The
cyborgs?
one that we live in, the one where we have a template of make-believe.
And they stare at you with their evil eyes.
Well, they don't know what staring is anymore because that's all they really do. So you have to understand, they have set up a circle of money. Okay? Follow the money and you will follow the evil. And the evil in this is they threw whatever they could at COVID, just like they did with all the fucking tax dollars and charity funds to breast cancer. All they did was create some pink shit.
Ooh, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine, but I just,
Do you want a sip of water? We got some water on the right side of the room for everyone in the audience.
I got mucus that I've been trying to clear out of my chest for like the last month. So
if you walk into this room, right, on the right side you'll see, your waters. On the left side you'll see your glasses of wines, and then there's some napkins all the way at the back of the room.
You do know.
Let me finish this because my balls hurt. So this is already a lot for me right now, and it's every time I get in a cold. It doesn't matter.
Your what hurts?
I got my balls. I got fucking blue balls.
Oh my god, you need to stop talking because I'm telling you.
Well, here's the thing. I took acid yesterday, went to 2 museums, and I had the fucking idea to take some ketamine. Every time
you gotta start provoking, okay?
First of all, I usually do that kind of shit.
I have no words.
But tomorrow I'm gonna go to IV therapy, so I'll be fine. It's
IV.
IV.
You need to go get some cryo icing. That's what needs to really.
What's that?
Do you know
when you go after the gym, you go into these cryo.
Blue balls? Do you know what blue balls are? First of all, we don't have ovaries that go to our midsection. We have capillary veins. So when your blood rushes to your veins, unlike your brain, because it's skull and skin, we don't have any bones down there.
Stop talking. Stop talking. You're provoking right now. You're provoking.
You're
just a troll. You're trolling.
That's
You're trolling.
Wait, Barry, can we go back to the topic, which was knowing your rights, which was talking about.
Let me be a writer and walk everybody back into that cave of knowledge.
All right, here we go.
It's called transition. If you listen to church sermons, you'll hear some of the best transitions.
Okay, here we go.
So you just don't play with Charlie horses. Charlie horses are basically blue balls cramps. They're cramps.
This is about mental health.
No, wait, Barry.
First of all, mental health is your balls. Because if you sat on your balls right now, your mental health would be corrupted for at least 10 minutes.
You're joking.
Sit on your balls on accident one time.
Barry, we need to talk about.
And you'll understand what kind of blue balls I have. But
you have.
I'd rather not.
I went to the hospital last summer with folliculitis.
Okay, can you tell us? Can you tell us how tall you are?
So,
because it depends. It depends on your height too.
I used to be 6 foot. Now I'm 5'11". I was in a wheelchair for a year and a half.
Okay, so people who get blue balls, it's only for those who are 5'11" and above.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So for those who are under 5'11", we're blessed and we're lucky.
So midgets don't get blue balls.
No.
Okay, so that means I can't get it.
Frodo can jerk off and not come.
What is going on with my show?
25
Dahlia,
years.
take control of your show.
All right, okay. We need to rein this in with the balls. We need to rein this in with the mind and the balls in one unified, uniform system. We are going to get back to knowing your rights and where we were talking about. Now, see, we're getting heated in the house. We need to pivot the energy.
I got 3 minutes before this shit is over with for me. I'm already timing it. So I went to the hospital last summer during COVID. And it was pretty much exactly the way my friend said it was. 2 friends. One friend who was interning because she was an EMT in college. So she went back during the pandemic to give a helping hand at a few different hospitals in Jersey. And you got to remember the early reports widespread throughout the entire West Coast talking about how dead bodies were piling up on the East Coast, and they were seeing U-Hauls full of dead bodies, but they were especially dead because of the COVID virus and possibly passing on the virus. So the bodies were actually considered to be toxic waste. Now, you have to understand, they cannot sponsor patients in the hospital. Yes, your insurance is important. It's the difference between county and Cedar-Sinai. It's the truth. But your medical care or Medi-Cal insurance is especially important right now because that's how the hospitals are making money off of shit that they didn't have before. Hospitals across the board suffer from not being funded for proper science, proper research, proper equipment. And that's in all the podunk give a fuck towns like Arkansas. You going to Arkansas? Have you been to Arkansas? Do you know a city in Arkansas?
Yes.
The fact that nobody hit a buzzer and answered it with pride means that you don't want to go, don't know, and don't care, which is exactly why they asked you about your medical insurance, because most people in your age group don't have it and they don't care. So the question falls on one direction. Why? Not did they ask you the question, why is medical insurance so important? Now, you would have to dig and go, what happened a few years ago, maybe 10? Obama happened with the medical insurance and passing that ideal across the board, primarily to the blue states. So moving into the COVID epidemic, surprisingly 25 to 35% more of people in our age group have medical insurance. How does that help the situation? Because the money is being put right back into the hands it's being taken out of. But because of all of the relief funds, some hospitals have been deemed COVID relief hospitals. So they have, like what most towns have or cities have when the Olympics come, a grant permitted to them. So you have a loophole feeding another loophole. You have one law or one smidgen of a difference creating an entire lifestyle. Now, you could ask yourself for another example.
Can I just say how
one percenters are the tragedy of the homeless epidemic, as the one percenters moved into more of a steadfast, hard position, which separated the blue-collar working class to two different genres, which I was definitely eager to speak on. This was the purpose when the Republicans, who were black, by the way, when they started back in the day when white people wore wigs. And the three-party was necessary because you have to remember, you had motherfuckers who did arranged marriages so they can get rich. And the people who just remember, those were the mid-class. I got to marry this cow farmer girl who has pimples coming out of her ass crack and hair on her nipples. Bitch looks like she died already, but I got to do it for Paul. And go to the Marines, get my leg chopped off. It was just rough and they boiled their food. We don't live then. We live now. So realize what people sacrifice, like hope. So now you got 48% of our population proudly, happily, with the red hats, voting for the dumbest nigga alive. It's in his DNA. So you had that pure example that came from 8 years of a grooming session to move people into a marketing propaganda scheme only to feed the well of the pandemic. Do not think that this shit is not a stage set since El Nino. And if you really want me to holler back at a girl, it really started for our generation at that fake ass war. What was it? Persian Gulf? You have to understand, where there is money, there needs to be motive. With no motive, they cannot create the bridge to gap the goddamn unknown. That's why you don't hear about the Dark Ages, because it's just the Dark Ages, that working title that stuck. So these are the very well-known, because of social media, dark moments. And in these dark moments, what a lot of people miss was the heartbeat. Didn't you catch that Donald Trump dumb shit pop-up headline, and then next thing you know, Elon Musk is doing some Back to the Future next level shit. He's the dumbest nigga from the future, yet he has all the answers, and he looks like he knows something that everybody else doesn't want to know, which is this. There is a revolution brewing because of the information that has been spread about COVID amongst the known and the unknown. The known is the
Barry, hold on. Just before
I got 2 more minutes, and I'm about to get to the middle class, because that's a part of the working class doctors that are interns that are in their residency that aren't performing surgeries, because my grandmother got killed by a surgeon. And surgeons make money off of commission. See, I'm trying to educate you on shit that you already know. You probably heard it on Grey's Anatomy, but it was like, you know what I mean? Background noise.
No,
So
I don't even watch Grey's Anatomy. I watch
you've seen an episode,
telenovelas.
or you've seen an episode of a doctor show. Anytime you've seen a show where they're wearing scrubs, like Scrubs, you've heard information that wasn't misinformation, but it was debunked because of the nature and the genre of the show. My point is, this is not new information. It's just being put together properly, navigated through wisely, so a point can be proven. The message is, America is evil. It's a corporation. And if you thought they stopped for some reason, you're a fool. The pandemic was a distraction. Better yet, a fire drill. If you think this shit is over with, it has just begun, because they tested us just like they did the motherfuckers back in the 60s with the gas prices, so they could prove to the people in time that we know how to check y'all like Nike for inflation. So they knew how much to inflate the
Who's
economy.
they? So that we can get that clear.
You have to understand, the government in America's too young to be this powerful. Remember that. So there are things like history. I studied that. Indiana Jones. That motherfucker really inspired me, because history proved to be, quite adventurous.
No, I know, but Barry, I want to have the audience know who is they, so that we can also pinpoint.
Oh, you're talking to me like I'd never had a podcast before. That all comes, like I told my girl right here, let the writer write. It's all a part of a monologue. And when you break the fourth wall, that third person camera moment, like Fresh Prince.
No, I'm talking about they in terms of you're saying.
I know who you're talking about, the audience, the streaming members who are watching.
No.
And when you say they, you mean the government.
Yeah.
Like when you answer questions on the phone, you have to answer yes or no, not sure. I know.
Okay, but do you how can we know, like, specifically, like what part of the government, like who runs it?
So the Supreme Court Justice is the primary envelope pushers in this entirety. Now, don't get it twisted. They just pass the laws. They don't create the laws. And they also don't create the bills. Now, every 5 years, America holds a panel. And the world's best, well-known, well-renowned scientists, doctors, gather, and they present a priority list of issues and items that should be removed or added to America's dossier menu, or just acknowledgement. Fun fact about America. 10 years ago, grapeseed oil was outlawed. Did you know grapeseed oil cures cancer? Just a fun fact.
What?
If you stay in that mindset, you won't correct me again, because you'll know you won't have to.
He's not correcting you. He's just saying what. That's a huge difference.
He knows what I'm talking about. Now,
hold on, Barry. Barry, I think we are.
No, the day.
No, Barry. Maybe we started off on the wrong.
We didn't start off wrong. You're a good guy.
Okay.
Can I just? With the interruptions, just let me go on my monologue.
I know, but I'm reacting so that people can realize, like, look, this grape.
I know.
So the grapeseed oil is interesting.
Fam.
Yeah.
I've been doing Zoom comedy for like almost 2 years. It's like doing an audition. Yeah, they get, I step on a lot of my jokes. Stepping on your jokes means you don't give the pause for people to laugh. Because
I know, but can you just elaborate on this grapeseed thing? Like,
I got you. I figured from your reaction, you want it. Like,
I want it.
Okay, so there is a history of non-American based culture healing elements that tend to source from other continents. They are being gathered in a more specific manner now, meaning Cedar-Sinai prescribes turmeric. Now, you have to understand that in 2022, when Martin Luther King got shot, they weren't talking about turmeric in hospitals. Western philosophy medicine at its core is only good for trauma therapy, Meaning if you got shot, stabbed, hit by a car, your leg got chopped off, you might win. You might survive. But anything that could basically turn back the hands of time, which like right now, because I'm dehydrated, I got stress lines, but if I drink a lot of water, they're gone. That is not a option when you smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, and you're distracted by the many non-things that you're doing with your time jogging in place, living in a city that hates you. That's most of our age group right now, whether they're in Chicago, New York, Miami, or here. So these things run away from you, meaning this entire pandemic, for the people out there paying attention with common sense, and yes, it will be on a t-shirt soon, and yes, it is a superpower. This, for us, was like watching a very bad reality TV show, like the first season of Kitchen Nightmares. Remember, you could see him reading off the cue cards. Remember, it's not just you, it's other people, and they watch Kitchen Nightmares, because if that show didn't make me wonder about food, health in general, which is another thing that most people did not catch. Didn't you notice how everybody kind of became more of a Chef Boyardee during the pandemic? So grapeseed oil, yes, became a known fact, but this is a decade after it's re-released. And now it was here in the 60s, just like wheat was legal in the 60s until, the government said, nah, man, we ain't getting, you have to understand, it's like, you ever heard those shitty ass gangster movies where somebody opens up a brand new restaurant on a certain block and they got to pay protection fee? That's basically the fee that people are paying for. Now you have to understand, what are you paying for? You're paying for peasants who were rejected from another country, who came out here on a whim, and the best weapon they had was dirty ass blankets and a sob story. So moving forward, they had no will like Luke Skywalker to move into hope. So moving into this dawn of the transgenic age of technology, which we're on the precipice of, you are stuck with the COVID non-story, and nobody is talking about how children are in class with no actual teachers, and that's the bridge. Because they were looking for a new way to introduce control. AI has already groomed us to divide. Do you know what type of connection and of community we lost when we stopped passing money to each other? Do you know how
the value of trade?
Do you know how easy it was for they, United States government, and several chairs on the UN, and some nigga in Russia too. So, you like that?
Some Russians.
Got
Some
you.
Russian guy.
The Russian nigga, the guy who created the app, the Face app. See, you like that. And you just have to wonder the timing. The timing goes along with every heartbeat of every paint by numbers script from Marvel that you've ever seen, where you can predict it, but you're still kind of interested and you just want to see how it plays out, like somebody's IG story. And then you're disappointed because it wasn't shit anyways. Now, what I'm really talking about is being groomed to believe whatever's on your fucking smartphone screen, whether it's an Amber Alert conditioning you over the years, whether it's a text message giving you anxiety every fucking night because you don't know what it is, too many fucking notifications. So by the time you realize it, shit, COVID's real. Bodies are jumping out of a U-Haul. I'm just in my room looking at the same fucking walls in the corner. I gotta clean out my fan now. Like Pop-Tarts. Who eats Pop-Tarts?
Who eats Pop-Tarts?
So you have people who have been living in purgatory, but they're in the real world, surviving, falling apart, and trying to put themselves together every day. And here comes a TV timeout extended into years. So everything changed, primarily because the country that threw temper tantrums in the produce section at Food for Less, God forbid, that's America.
America! You got me one of their guys, America!
I go to Food for Less.
either
Ralph.
Hey, who's out here poop for less? Poop
Either
for
we wanna
less,
strike
bro. Poop for
prematurely.
less.
Did you just say poop for less?
I
Hey,
said
wasn't
food for
Food for Less? Food for
Mira.
Less used. Hey,
For
Food for Less used to be Food Max, right?
Wait, what?
No.
He's talking about history right now.
Oh
That's some real shit.
Okay, wait a minute. Time out here. Now I
So,
really gotta.
did
I
you
really
know
got a question.
Food for Less?
shit.
Food for Less is actually owned by Costco. Costco bought out Fedco. That's and Costco owns Smart and Final. So, yeah, man. Look, my grandmother worked for Safeway. Safeway is Vaughn's and other
My
shit.
father has worked for Safeway for the last 40 years.
You were watching the live.
I don't even want to get into the grocery stores.
No, I know, dude. They literally, I feel like they juiced.
Part of the 5-year panel that I'm going to talk to you about real quick, just to jump back on that.
Get back in the curtain.
Canada outlawed dairy.
What?
Yeah, 8 years ago. It's old. That's old news. That's common sense. That's how the 48%, how you just look, what? Like wiping their ass. That's how it looks to them. Getting a boudet.
What about goat milk? What about goat milk?
What happened to me was I went to Tokyo to tour in 2018. And I learned that we're so far from being first world that we barely are eligible for second world. And that's because we have pockets like Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee. I'm not talking about the entire state, but where it gets a little hazy, blurry, the South will rise again-ish. Yeah, like crickets and full moons and smoking blunts at night. That's
Barry, I want to know,
For that.
what's your zodiac?
He's a Libra.
I'm a Libra with a Virgo moon and a
I'm a Virgo.
Aries
He has to love me.
I'm an Aries.
and an Aries rising. So
Oh shit, we're all combined.
See, the fact that he knows his shit means that there's something special there.
So, am I excusing? Because it sounds like he's a little more entertained than I am.
I mean,
No, that's not that. No.
It's a lot of pain, so don't.
I mean, for somebody like Blue Ball right now, I mean, you got a hell of a lot of
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
And it sounds like you got a lot
Well,
of shit. It's associating time with Blue Nickel.
This show just got so real, so
You
quick.
just got woke. We just got woke as fuck.
There's a movie that came out recently, and they always do doubles. It was one hide and seek
Hide and seek,
with a
yeah.
cute white girl.
Yeah.
And then there was another one that came out with the one dude that was in Arrow. No, he was in Smallville, and he played Green Arrow. I wanted him to get the part for the Arrow show, but he didn't. He's in This Is Us. Tall, pretty boy, blonde hair, box cut, kind of looks like Batman if he was blonde.
That's your boy.
He was in it too. It was
Let's not praise people who are not persons of color in here. What the hell?
Nigga, I'm part Irish, so you just
Me
made me
too.
figure out why I
Hey,
like
okay, no. Hold on.
Irish and yo también.
I want to no. Listen. I want to point that out, okay? For all of the people who are watching right now, did you guys just hear what Barry said?
I'm
Although
pretty-
he is black, his black identity would not even exist today. His person, who he is, would not have even existed
You just gotta think about it. And most people
if his Irish ancestor didn't go in and procreate.
why would I even have the opportunity to possibly even be of Irish descent? Because of the immigrants, America, that's the melting pot, the timing in which it took place. If you go back on my family tree, it comes from my mom's side. People in my family look white. You know, when I was born, I was white for 9 months. I didn't start showing melatonin in my skin. You know, they thought my mom kidnapped me. This is true. She almost
What?
left the KFC bathroom when I was 3 years old, but then I was too popular with the family. So, anyways, she told me when we were really drunk once.
We are a beautiful, lovely melting pot in here. Yes, we are.
It's a show. If I can get anybody watching the stream to just give it a gander, if not for your science nerd side, just for
I love that you used gander. I use that too.
Gander for your gandering pleasure.
spelling bee champ, 1st grade through 3rd grade. I lost to
This man is smart. See,
Hold
this
on.
man.
Well, for now, we gotta hear what Barry Keith go introducing knowledge bombs.
First of all,
Knowledge bombs.
I was not even 9. The word was ridiculousness. I did not know how to pronounce ridiculousness because I didn't have any fucking teeth in the middle. So it was really because of a lisp and missing teeth, if you want to get technical. But it's all for fun.
Yeah.
So it's just words.
Okay, so now I got a
All
question.
right. So now
For anybody that's still watching, do you have any questions about mental fucking health?
I think this is where we should
This
probably end it, right?
This is all what it's leading towards.
How,
You know
you've been
what I
talking
like?
about your balls.
You know what I like about
Barry.
people who don't listen? Once I get to the end, they always say thanks. So let's just pause on that part for you guys and let's hurry up and get to the thanks. So now that you have a doctor who blew up, black guy, blew up during the 5-year panel announcement, meaning like when Obama got elected, all of a sudden everybody wanted to vote. So once that guy was seen, a few other white women that needed to be seen were seen, including the author of that one new book that has one line that's worth a goddamn white frailty, which is written by a female therapist. She is, in my opinion, famous just for this line. Not saying her book. I read the book. It was a great book. She said that American white folks are the only race on the planet that can live amongst just themselves for 20 years at least and never think once about another culture in any capacity.
Wow.
Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just going to say I'm a documentary junkie, and I went through this phase because one of my roommates likes CSI, but it's trash. So I watched a docuseries on rich kids who got away with murder. And there was this one kid, and he got away with killing his girlfriend, and he only went to jail for 3 years. Did you hear what I said? 3 years. He probably went to the Martha Stewart jail, too. That's it. Now, this guy made a completely relatable, astounding, and uplifting argument to remove dairy from the shelves in America. Here are 2 reasons. Did you know that primarily, when I say white, these are the ethnicities I'm targeting? Anglo-Saxon, that's an actual, it's not just all white people.
No, that's an actual thing. Yeah. Anyone who basically derives from like.
I fuck with you. You read too. And you pay attention. Because motherfuckers been hearing that and they were like, oh, Anglo-Saxon just means, Caucasian. Okay, nigga.
No. It's Caucasian's a different thing.
Like, here's
Anglo-Saxon is like English derived.
Would you have the same spirit as me? Don't correct them. Let them sound dumb. Fuck them. If they didn't want to learn like we did through pain, trauma, or just pure curiosity,
I just want to give Barry a hug.
I just went through a lot in the last 2 months, and
I don't need to hear about your 2 months. I just want to give you the hug.
I just won from patience persevered. I just had a Scooby-Doo moment.
All right, so Barry, please end it off.
I was very moved when I heard this first historical remark because my brother always drank fucking milk, and he said that he grew because I didn't get my second growth spurt because I lifted weights because my dad used to beat me and I wanted to be able to punch him. We tried that at 17 and his head barely turned. So normally I always wanted my dad to get hit by a bus but live and then just be stuck in a wheelchair and be like, tables have turned now, nigga. He's a good guy.
Your dad is a good guy. I like your dad. I actually like your dad.
He played football in the NFL. They have anger problems. Did you see Ray Rice's wife come off the ground and get inside that elevator door?
Bring it back to the mental health, though.
That's mental health.
Okay.
Football players have a anger problem in general.
Yes, Aaron Hernandez.
Even the kickers, bro, because they wanted to hit somebody and they never could. Yeah, so you are hearing a factual statement about the human physiology. The average white American can produce a chemical called lactate, which is helping their immune system and their digestive tract.
That happened to me once.
Do what, Barry? Digest fucking milk. How is your body in our generation losing its appetite for green? Because we've become more carnal. In order for us to stay looking younger, longer, it's not skincare. It's not all the other Betty Crocker, Martha Stewart, hand-me-down legends of myth. It's your body produces a certain amount of enzymes in one lifetime. And it's like the old school magic tale. You produce magic, you have to sacrifice part of your soul, something. There's always a sacrifice. So in order for you to enjoy a burger, some fries, and some pancakes, you're going to produce a lot of enzyme, which is going to steal from your vitality. So while everybody was talking about milk does a body good, no, it did a body wrong, because most of us do not source from Germany, Scandinavia, Russia. No, these are the vintage whites that grew up with milk on their farm produced through a cow, which is a lot healthier, by the way. And you do not need as much because the nutrients are fresh. Anyways, moving along, it was breaking the body down, removing stomach tissue, causing 7 different types of cancer, ulcers, along with a lot of mental health issues. They say that it was blocking melatonin. It was causing a lot of hyperactive energy with a foundation of weight gain. And you would see this nervous-like energy. Now, if you notice some of the children from our generation that are naturally, they're star children, but that's a whole nother. Most of us are indigo children, which are just here to give the world a bit of what it needs, which is community and connection to take down the walls. The star children are just like Jubilee.
I'm a star child.
And some of them were born in our generation and they're ahead of their time. This is a natural state of being. They do not want to be cluttered. Your body is impervious to disease and viruses. But if you follow a pinpoint accurate instinctual health regimen, instinctual means that you could wake up on Tuesday, bro, and be like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with oatmeal today. And then you could wake up on Wednesday after 3 burgers on a Sunday and just be like, I'm gonna fast this week. The Egyptians fasted every 8 days. They didn't fast every day. They didn't eat every day. It depended on what they were doing and what they felt. But did you hear the word I used primarily? Felt. With everything, the overstimulation, the planned already future at 16, God forsake, if you don't know what college you're going to, you have very little time to be in the magic of the moment and see how your life can go in a completely different universe's direction. And without that reality looming in a non-impending doom manner, thinking outside of the box that was created by the warden of the prison, called what you think you thought, meaning you thought these things from jump. These are not genuinely your thoughts. They were given to you in a box of hope, only for you to realize you opened Pandora's box of mental disturbed thoughts. So many people from our generation are suffering from the second. In the movie Black Widow, break it down. There were 2 different types of mind control, mental disturbed behavior. The first one was psychological through muscle memory, which was Scarlett Johansson's character. The second one was just a straight shooter. We ain't got no time for the bullshit. I'm going to spray you with this shit and everything you thought is mine. That's what they did to us. Because if you thought video games, a conditioned sense of priority with schooling, religion was overbuilt, women all of a sudden, as our moms were all of a sudden told that they needed to buy everything, do everything, be everything, except for leaders. Now you have a very confused population that is one mind about one thing: love. Love for the human experience. Because mentally, as a core, the United States in our generation is traumatized. We have suffered through the rumors and shadows of our parents, their double lives, what they had to do, and the promises of a future that they never got to live out. So we have mastered depression because we saw it as children. We saw the regrets. We saw the never should have. We know that shit through and through. So let me ask you this. Why would the government step forward on a dark path that very few have survived? Because you would never overdo one area over another. The pendulum will not swing properly. The weight will be shifted. The scales will be off. So you have to have several different avenues in which you pull bodies from. Population control. You have to understand population control only works if populations increase, but at a certain rate. In 1998, right before they took the consensus, which was the first one of our generation, and it was literally, if you think about it, right before 9/11, like literally the year that Matrix was in post-production. And by the way, fun fact for everybody that's watching, the Matrix, because that was my first job in high school. I worked in concessions and as a box office cashier. Nobody saw it. It was basically considered to be a live action animated movie. My brother saw it on bootleg before he actually got taken to theaters by me when it got re-released the next year during winter. I say that because the Matrix is happening now, primarily the Animatrix. These freedoms that were supposedly taken from us had been training wheels set apart for an entire decade without hesitation. Matter of fact, keep it 100, they're still in stride. That lady slipping on the stage saying pandemic wasn't a mistake. She just didn't take enough improv classes, and her art history was a little shaky. She was more of a science major, you can tell. A little too crass with the reaction and didn't really play off the facial expressions, means she doesn't have enough colored friends. Yeah, I said colored. I mean like people who have soul. I mean people who feel as if they can show their soul, because you already have Caucasians, colonizers, white folks who aren't just white, by the way. And we got to stop saying white, black, and brown, because we're all just different shades of the same color. That's real. We're all the same human being going through the same thing, just on a different point of the wavelength called love and the human experience. It is critical for anybody watching right now to remember these two things. Smile more, be angry less. It is very similar to Mr. Miyagi's The Sun is Shining, the grass is green. He got that from another nigga. And that nigga got it from somebody else speaking in another language. These are all a part of a rerun. Everything is an inside job. These viruses, this chemical warfare is just another form of a Trojan horse that is being used to manipulate the great. If you haven't noticed how Star Wars kind of came back, if you just watch the snippet from the last one and see how the people united to go against the dark, the same elements are taking precedence now. You have white women, I said it, that have black children. I said that too. Going to these panels. The one that I witnessed was the one in San Diego, and it was primarily for the COVID restrictions. And you had people that were well decorated with experience and time in, probably saved at least a dozen lives on some fluke shit and some I knew what the fuck I was doing vibe too. Now, imagine somebody saying that now after this guy, who I'm going to look up on my phone. Just give me a second. Just right off the top of my head. I know what he looks like. I'm horrible with names. He is a real doctor, and he actually knew Dr. Sebi. He knows the alternative doctor that I see now. And
Barry,
to know,
try to bring it back into mental health. We gotta
to know that the fact that we cannot digest lactic acid causes an issue, because when you go to sleep at night, your body's metabolizing whatever you had in your stomach, which is causing you not to get sleep, which can cause mental distress. Sleep deprivation can cause mental distress. The amount of stress and anxiety and panic attacks that have been calculated and statistically collected during the entirety of our generation have proven that yes, poison kills. Stress releases a toxin from your brain into your immune system and your bloodstream that reduces the rate of recovery. The same toxin simultaneously is released into your bloodstream as well, but not as strong, which is adrenaline. My main point is the pandemic exposed the mental health cry America has been screaming for decades.
Okay.
Now you have an opportunity and a window, as tiny as it is, to exploit this well-rounded lie and out it as the wound with salt pouring and searing out of the sides. You have governments that are keeping disgusting elements in our system through popular media and marketing. You have an entire medical industry that's in the pocket of the shadiest lobbyists, mob bosses that have ever existed. And you have an entire phase of American history that cannot be erased. We live in the digital backdrop now. This is not just paper. 50 years later, Cosby didn't rape them girls. Cosby, it's on record.
Let's not bring in Cosby. We're still trying to stay on topic, Barry.
Isn't
that we're over time.
Mental health? Because
and I think I'm mentally sick right now because
I think that
you just woke me up.
It's a lot of
beefy
medical
So I don't know if
problems that have all stemmed from complete disarray from the mental standpoint. If you don't have the mind, you won't control the body, and you'll never understand the spirit.
There we go.
These are the elements that we are trying to converge on as we move into this understood age of the human experience. Right. Not pessimistic, just a realistic view on how to solve some of the more non-layered, not that complicated, mostly smoke and mirrors bullshit that we've been force-fed like the Pledge of Allegiance when we were kids. Why the fuck did we say that shit? That was mind control. And that is why I bite my motherfucking nails. That part. So you cannot speak on. Last thing, and this is for the athletes in the room. I want you to be honest. You didn't cut yourself, but you did play a sport that said fatal and warning on the backside of the helmet, because those were the key search words, didn't you? You did decide to jump over a fucking bar that was 20 feet in the air, knowing that if you landed wrong, you could break your leg and break your neck. You chose to go snowboarding on a cliff where 2 kids died just last year. And an avalanche was recorded 10 years ago that almost took out the entire village that sat below. But you wanted to do it for the IG. Now, you don't cut yourself. You're not Heath Ledger. But nigga, that's a Kodak finish, though.
Oh, that is Barry Keith Coe on Woke Wellness Wednesday. We had no idea you were going to be dropping knowledge bombs across all the spectrums. Thank you, Barry, for coming in. Just to kind of get us back on track. I do apologize. We did show up late. This was Gerren Hall. This is Gerren Hall on a Woke Wellness Wednesday with Stay Woke or Not. Michael has left the room. Literally, he has left the room.
You're supposed to stay and be woke.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but at any rate, this was What Is It Like Being Bipolar in the Entertainment Industry, which led to our deeper conversation about Medi-Cal, which we ended up knowing your rights with Barry Keith Coe. What a pivot and what a crazy night. Gerren, get back in here. We're going to tell everybody hasta luegos, hasta la pastas. Also, if you enjoyed this conversation and if you enjoyed this show, we have Stay Woke or Not stickers available at our website. Also, our Instagram is popping. We have a lot of things going on. This has been a crazy week. Gerren, how are you feeling?
Woke.
He's feeling woke. Thank you. Y'all did a good job. Mr. Chow, thank you so much. We really did cover a spectrum of truth in what Barry feels. God, I'm tripping over my words over here.
Not all black people look the same.
Oh, shut up, man. He was just like, shut up. Oh, you about to get an ass kicked. Let
me just put it this way, y'all. Go buy some grapeseed oil because I already use it, so no wonder I'm never going to get cancer.
Yeah, so we're definitely about awareness and the full depth of our human experience here on this planet. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to like and comment, subscribe, Tune in next time. This has been a Stay Woke or Not episode. Oh my God. He said, yeah, the conversation went all over the place, but I liked it. I'm going to star that comment right before I bounce. You are right. It was bouncy. It was like rabbits up in here. But anyways, you know where it's at. Stay woke or not. Say what?